All right, here we go. Back again with another podcast with yours truly, DJ, and my great co-host Cornell. How you feeling?
What's up? I'm good, man. Um, Knocking it out on this lovely Sunday. Just got done listening to church. I did the 6 o'clock service too. Like we went to 4 services online,
Are you
so I
in,
just
you went
be
to all
knocking them.
four?
Nah, I didn't do all four.
Ah,
You know what I'm saying? But I did. I did the 11 o'clock and the 6 o'clock.
me and Jamisha just called the 9 o'clock.
I got it done. Huh?
Yeah,
I'm with it.
nah, it was
It
fire
was
though.
fire.
Yeah,
It was.
yeah, it was. Yeah,
Yep.
it was hidden.
It was. It was for sure. They said, yeah, Lady J got in there. The Shook One series for the whole COVID thing. It's just amazing how the whole world has just have been shifted behind this virus. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't want to make fun of it no more. Like, people are really, they getting taken out behind it now. But yeah, like, this is amazing. It kind of seemed like this is going into kids' history books. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
But yeah, the whole Shook One series is, yeah, it's fire.
yeah. So today's episode is going to be titled "Borrowed Time." How you feeling about that one?
Ball time, man. I don't know what you mean by that, man.
Borrowed time, like so many people have made such a great impact with limited time. So in looking at my day-to-day life, I'm like, all right, I feel like there's areas where I'm squandering my time to make an impact on the world. So I guess you can call it purpose and like finding your purpose and living in it. But how I view it is, what am I doing with the time that I have borrowed? How do you feel about that one?
Hmm.
I think I lost you. Hold on.
Why
You
you
breaking
call it
up.
borrow?
You said, why do I call it borrowed time?
Yeah. Can you hear me?
Because you never
Yeah,
know when
yeah.
your
Borrow. You
time
said
comes,
borrow
man.
time. Like why
It's
you say
borrowed
borrow?
time. Because you gotta think like I don't know. Just
I could
looking
dig
at
it.
all of our greats,
Oh,
like the impact they had was just so short. Once again, it was just so short, and for them to find their purpose and their calling in that short amount of time, it makes you look and reflect. So I don't know.
yeah, yeah. No, for sure. Yeah. I was just saying why you say borrow because like we might not have much time. Like I agree. Like some of the greatest men that ever walked this planet have only been here a short amount of time. But that time was their time. You know what I'm saying? Like it wasn't nobody else. They like Martin Luther King didn't have Malcolm X's time. You know what I'm saying? Or you know what I'm saying? Just the greats didn't have like Jesus didn't have the next great person's
I just
time.
look.
You know what I'm saying? Like it was
I just
their
look at it
time.
like
So I
if
don't
they
know.
had the times
I
that
don't know.
most
Just
people
when I think
squander or take for granted,
borrowed
the
time.
more impact that they could have put on the world. That's why I call it borrowed. Because what how fruitful could they have been with the time that we are currently taking for granted?
Mm-hmm. No, for sure. Like you're absolutely right. Now the time. So when we think about like great men and great features, like I always refer back to Christ and just the great things he's done. He's done. Like he came out on fire. You know what I mean? Just at a very very young age was preaching in the synagogues and stuff like that, and just wowing people. So like that's always been inspirational and motivating to me. Like I refer everything back to Christ, everything back to Jesus. Like it was even recently like marketing, like how can I market like Jesus? You know what I'm saying? Like he's the most influential person available. Like so with that motivation, with that inspiration, I always try to be, um, I just try to mock and mirror
Hmm.
and you know, mimic that. every which way I possibly can. So like when I wake up, what can I do today to be influential, impactful in some way, some shape, some form. And then I always center it around giving back. That's also a Christ feature. It's not just about me. It's not a me thing. You know what I'm saying? It's about
Hmm.
giving to other people. And I think that's what the root of our purpose in life
Yeah,
is
but
to give to
so
other
to
people
because a
something
lot of
particular,
people
something special.
hit that
You know what
wall
I'm
to where
saying?
they question and don't know what their purpose is. How would you like? Have you ran into that moment where you just had the light bulb go off, like, "Hey, this is my purpose," and what was that moment, and how would you explain that to the next person that really doesn't know what their purpose is right now?
Yeah. So I think for somebody trying to discover what their purpose is in life, it's been told to me like that thing that really irks your soul if it's not done right. Like if you see something happening in progress and you feel like you need to assess it, just look at it and make sure it's done right. Because if it's not done right, it's going to work you to the core. Like some people, they don't, they might see like a group of people and everybody is clicked up, and you might be the type of person that sees the one guy out by himself, and that just irks your soul to see that person
Yeah,
not have a friend. So you go be that person's friend. You know what I'm saying? And some people that keeps them up at night. That really irks their soul. That really works their nerve. Uh, for me, it's like people like I hear people encouraged in certain arenas, and I hear people exalted and lifted up in certain ways. And then I think about other groups of people, and I just see areas in other people's lives that needs to be spoken to, that needs to be encouraged, that needs to be lifted up, and that irks my soul when I see something that needs life. Like I feel like words provide life. Words are powerful. Like I consider words a superpower. And so when I see a particular group or
yeah,
area not have life, I feel the need to have to go speak to that. You know what I'm saying? Um, so I think people's purpose is tied to that, and I think your purpose is always a spiritual thing. And you just look at the spiritual gifts. There's gifts of giving, gifts of helps, encouragement, like I was saying, pastoral uh gifts. And when I like the pastoral gifts, it's not necessarily like getting on stage preaching. It's just being able to help people get
yeah,
through life. Some people have wisdom gifts and discernment gifts. You know what I'm saying? But it's really um but I don't think people are really mindful of the things that they just naturally do. They're just naturally good at. You know what I mean? And society would seem to tell you that you got to be on stage in order
yeah,
to be purposeful, and people need to know your name in order for you to be walking in purpose. You know what I mean? But I don't necessarily think that's true. I think some people have resources that a lot of other people don't have, and um, you're able to give those away to people. There's a deacon at our church, man.
yeah,
He definitely blessed me beyond measure. You know what I'm saying? And I think one of his purposes in his gifts is a gift of helps. You know what I'm saying? Um, and like he literally just gave me a laptop one time. You know what I mean?
yeah,
And the fact that he gave me that laptop, I've run with it. You know what I'm saying? Like I took that laptop and I started companies. I made videos, and those videos, and I got videos for like the most watched videos was 400 like 13,000 views from this computer that somebody had given me. You know what I mean? But had he not given me that computer, that had never would have happened. You know what I mean? Like I've started boot camps.
yeah,
I've done voiceovers, and those voiceovers have blessed churches, have blessed companies. You know what I'm saying? Um, all from this laptop. So had he not been in place and did what he was supposed to,
yeah,
operated in his purpose, I wouldn't have been able to operate in mine. You know what I'm saying? So like the world definitely needed somebody like him, and I see him do so much other types of stuff. You know what I'm saying? So yeah,
Yeah.
man, I think that's what purpose is in life. You know what I mean? Figuring out what you can't
So
stand for, and
what
it's just a good
tools
foundation to start off with the spiritual gifts.
would you
You know what I
have
mean?
or advise the people on ways not to exploit their gift and look for monetary blessings in their gifts once they do find their purpose? Yeah.
Not to ways to not exploit their gifts and then monetary gifts. Like,
Yeah.
so I don't want to
Yeah.
make it seem like money's a bad thing. You know what I mean? So your gift might get you paid. You know what I'm saying? That's okay. You know what I mean? Like get paid off your gift. You know what I'm saying? But what I think the issue would is become is whenever Christ is not in the center of anything you do. Whenever Christ is not the center, then that's when it becomes a problem. So when your gift, especially with it being a spiritual gift, whenever Christ is not in the center of you operating and using your gifts, that's when it's wrong. You know what I mean? So like if encouragement and words is my thing, and then I begin to use my words and my encouragement in ways that isn't pleasing to Christ. Like if I like as a married man, if I'm going out trying to
Yeah.
encourage these women to like me some way somehow. You know what I'm saying? Like if I just like some people just got a mouthpiece, can charm it, and if I really want to turn that switch on, I probably could. You know what I mean? But not to manipulate that situation and keep Christ at the center and always trying to bring glory to His name. I'm gonna be all right. Now, if I get paid behind that, that's what I'm talking about. You know what I mean? Yeah, so gifts of helps. Some people can help people to get stuff that they may have want that they may want. You know, if you have the gift to lead people, you know, not being deceptive and leading people in directions and ways, that's for your gain. You know, it don't necessarily have to be a money, but just anything that's not pleasing, that's not going to lift Christ up. You know what I mean? And I think ultimately Christ is here for relationships. So whenever we're building a body, whenever you're doing it for with the heart of Christ and for
Yeah.
other people,
Makes a
I
lot of
think
sense, and it was a great
you
point.
definitely in the right place and
But
in
yeah,
the right
so
direction.
another thing,
That makes sense.
speaking for myself, and I'm pretty sure like a lot of other people and our listeners, um, so there's a lot of times when you do have that recollection of when it's time for you to walk out in that purpose and what your purpose is, and to give your gift to the world and allow that to be received. Speak to the people that feel that wall of
Hmm.
fear in that moment, and just what they should do in that moment rather than just allow that fear to consume them.
Yeah, man. Don't let it stop. You know what I mean? Uh, like fear is a mug. You know what I mean? And like it can be so deadly. Um, whatever it is, because I mean, when people are scared, they scared for different reasons. Some people, you know, like the corona thing, like they're just fear of death. You know what I'm saying? Some people do fear death. Some people just fear opinions of other people. You know what I'm saying? Some people fear being broke. You know what I'm saying? So like these are all legitimate reasons to be afraid. You know what I mean? So that's why it's extremely important to have faith in Christ, and then faith in something beyond you. You know what I mean? Bigger than you. Faith in your purpose. Know that we all die someday. You know what I'm saying? Like at the end of the day, we are all going to die. I think we can all agree on that. We're going to leave this earth someday. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But the time that I was here, I was supposed to do something. You know what I mean? And we don't know when the last day is or what. So if I'm supposed to be here to do something, do it. You will be afraid. Like I get so afraid to do stuff all the time. Like sometimes even just a Facebook post, I get nervous. I get afraid. Like just the
Yeah.
post, like I just don't know how people gonna respond to it. You know what I'm saying? I don't know what's gonna be said. I don't know if people gonna like it. You know what I'm saying? Like What are they gonna think? But I know what's at the center of that thing. You know what I'm saying? And even if nobody ever likes it, even if I don't get not one comment, I'm still planting seeds in somebody that can still shift and change somebody's life in ways that I can't imagine. So like if you're afraid, like that's good. You know what I mean? Like you're a human. Like those are normal things. You know what I'm saying? So what I want you to do is grab that fear, realize that it's real, walk through it. Because all it's going to do is just going to strengthen you for the next uh, journey, for the next project, for the next thing. Because it's things that freaked me out at first that I'm using as stepping stones now. You know what I'm saying? And I just learned in those situations like, oh, it's not that bad. Okay, this time. Matter of fact, I'm gonna do it like this time. Yeah, you know what I mean? So like walk through. Take the fear, use it
Hey,
as a
tell them about
resource,
it, because
and
that's how I was definitely
don't
feeling
let
before I
your
released the
purpose just
podcast, and before I
dwindle
talked to
and
you,
die.
and you just convinced me to hit release and upload, because
Right,
this was supposed to have started like a while ago,
right,
but it just
exactly.
kept getting pushed back,
Like who knows what this podcast?
and
Right,
then you finally talked me into it. But no, I feel like for a long time,
exactly,
just the fear of being
exactly.
judged and not being accepted, like
And I'm
in me starting this and being able to use my gift of either bringing joy or just planting the seed, as you said, into another person's life, was just being held back by fear, and it was just something I wasn't ready to release, and I was being defeated on. And I don't, I don't know. I have a fear of failing and being
what do you
judged.
feel
That's
like you
my
was
biggest
afraid
fear.
of? Do you know?
Judged and failing. So in not releasing it, I was still failing because
Yeah,
I wasn't doing what made me happy, which was
exactly.
talking to people and bringing light to people's day. That's my true purpose. That's what I realized. Like in my whole journey
Yeah,
thus far, like from what I learned working at Chick-fil-A, like at first I was
yeah,
just like, all right, this is just me passing through until I get another job. But seeing the impact that I put on people's lives daily and what I did really just made it clear, like, all right, I'm supposed to affect people's life by bringing joy and getting them out of their comfort zone or out of their lives problems at that moment.
right. Yeah, I know people like, man, I'm telling you, you know, like um, some people they just absolutely love. Like I had a friend, he passed away. Shout out to my bro Ed, but like I don't know how in the world he
Mm-hmm.
made people like everybody thought they was his best friend. You know what I'm saying? Like everybody loved this dude. You know what I'm saying? Like he would go by and see everybody. He would call everybody.
Mm-hmm.
Like how, how, bro? You know what I'm saying? Quincy do that type of stuff. You know, she goes to the church, man, and she just everybody just feels special. So like I feel you on that. Like just being
Yeah.
that person who's in
But
people's lives to
and
make
another
them
thing,
feel
like I feel
special.
like
Like,
purpose
yeah,
is like a
like
thing
that's
that you can
purpose.
do,
I
and
agree
like
for
you can just
sure.
do it and not really worry about getting paid for it. Like you don't really have to receive anything to walk in your purpose, as long as it brings you the joy that you need. That's what I really feel like it is.
Exactly. Exactly. Yeah. 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 Absolutely. There's a certain level of satisfaction that comes um, from you walking in what you know. Uh, it's just a feeling. You know what I mean? You might not. Some people might not even know it's their purpose, but there's just a contentment. Like yes, like it's done. Like I said, you walk towards the
Yeah.
thing that really irritates you, but when it when you see that thing that irritates you,
No,
it's like okay,
but
yes,
back to why I call it
it's
borrowed
done.
time.
You
I
know,
finally sat on it and
purpose can
thought about
definitely
it.
do
The
that
reason
for you.
why I feel like it's
Yeah,
borrowed time
for
for me
sure,
is because
for
I
sure,
know
for
my
sure.
end all be all goal of what I want to do before I'm out and done. Like I legit want to like shift it to where I have like things set in stone and in
Mm-hmm.
place that like I truly leave an imprint in rather this field or the next field I decide to hop into while walking in my purpose. Like I won't say I'll be on the level of the people that are on the artwork of this episode, but I feel like I will have and leave a big enough imprint in my mind on that level, and that's why I feel like I'm borrowing time right now.
Yeah, I feel you. Yeah, the only reason I'm not borrowing time, bro. You know, it's like this time, this is my time. You know what I'm saying? Like, like I might not be a Nipsey, I might not be a Martin Luther King, but in my in my area of influence, people, I want people to feel me. You know what I'm saying? Whether if it's gonna be a podcast, if it's gonna be a post, if it's gonna be coaching, fitness, if it's gonna be me selling you insurance, if it's gonna be me helping you promote your brand, business. Like if I die, I want everybody sad. You know what I'm saying? Everybody come to the funeral like, oh God, how? Like what? You know what I'm saying? I want people tore up and jacked up. You know what I'm saying? Like I've seen funerals and you know, they just small and people not caring. It's like, ow, man.
Hmm.
You know what I'm saying? I just, you know, not to talk about anybody, but that's rough, man. You know what I'm saying? That hurts my heart. You know what I'm saying? Um, like and so like that's one of those things that really make me sad. That's one of those things that really bother me. To look at somebody's funeral and see, you know, like nobody cares about it. And I'm like, how could
Yeah,
that happen in this? Because, you know, like you said, like with the podcast, like they had so much greatness in them,
yeah, but
but they
get
never took that step to
let
go
me throw
get it.
this in
So
there.
it's my
So
job and my
let
responsibility
me
to
say
make sure
this.
people are
What
taking
if
those
it's not that
steps. You know what
they
I'm saying?
allowed
So
the fear to stop them from their purpose? What if people didn't realize and accept their purpose, and that's why they were shunned in a way? If that makes sense. Yeah,
no, absolutely. And that's why I'm there too. You know what I'm saying? Like people need people. Don't get it twisted. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like we are a body. That's how the Bible refers to it. You know what I'm saying? Like, can a
yeah,
hand say to the foot, you're not important because you're not a hand? You know what I'm saying? Yeah, no, you cannot. You know what I'm saying? We all have our roles. So like we do different stuff for a reason, and it's my job and my responsibility to come into your life and tell you you need to
yeah,
get it cracking, you need to get it rolling. You know what I'm saying? And it's definitely, and just like I told you, like I needed Deacon D. You know what I'm saying? Like I definitely needed him for me to go out and go for it. You know what I'm saying? And it's just like it's a
yeah.
circle of life, kind of like a Lion King in the circle of, you know what I mean?
Hmm.
That thing it all works together. You know what I'm saying? Uh,
There we go.
the bull eats the grass, the thing eats the thing, and the thing eats the thing, and it all comes all the way back down to grass. You know what I'm saying? Um, so we definitely need each other, man. So for the person that didn't operate in their gift because they didn't know their
Hmm.
purpose, man, you need to connect with people that can identify that. You need to connect with people like me, man. You know what I'm saying? And be and have and be
Hmm.
honest and be like, hey man, I don't know. You know what I'm saying? Like I don't get like, bro, what you mean? And then I'm gonna kick it off to you.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? Pastors are good for that. That's why we encourage people to get connected to their pastors and leaders in their church, because those people are able to identify those types of things in
Yeah.
people. Those are their gifts. You know what I'm saying? Uh, definitely for sure. You know what I'm saying? So I feel like if you missed your calling, is because you didn't get connected. More
Okay.
than likely,
So
you know what
this
I'm
just
saying? Or
came
you
to
if
my
you
mind.
missed, yeah,
What would
if
you
you missed
say,
your calling, it's
or
because you
what do you
probably
think
didn't get
about the
connected.
people that actually did step out in their fears and pursue their purpose, but yet got torn down because either missteps, not being received properly, or not hitting that goal that they had set in their mind, and just shut down out of their and walked away from their purpose? What do you say to them?
Um, Nobody said this road was going to be easy. Now, when you walking in purpose, I didn't say it was going to be peachy keen. So if you getting tore down and it's difficult and it's hard, then you probably doing the right thing. You know what I'm saying? But there's also a possibility, you know, that you didn't wear that thing right. You know what I'm saying? So um then it will probably, if you get torn down to where you feel like you can't get back up, it's probably because what's at the center of it all. You know what I mean? Is it really, is it all about you and self-centeredness? You know what I'm saying? Um, but if it's bigger than you, if the goal is to um bring glory and honor to Christ, you know what I mean? The ultimate mission and goal, the legacy of what's going to be said about Christ after you're gone. That's encouraging to me. Legacy, you know what I'm saying? I don't want everyone to talk
Mm-hmm.
about it outside of Christ, because I think that's ultimately the biggest thing. But there's other reasons that it could be, but I don't want to confuse it. You know what I mean? Like Christ, like if
Yeah.
that's the center, then you know it's not about you. Like I'm not doing this right now for me. You know what I'm saying? Like this podcast is not about me.
Mm-hmm.
It's about maybe, just maybe, somebody hears something that
Yep.
blesses their life, and then they take it years upon years upon years later, and their life has changed forever. You know what I'm saying? By something that was said in a podcast. And then they mess around and do something, and it blessed my great
Yep.
grandchild because I said something on a podcast, and nobody will know that it's connected but God. You know what I'm saying? I could say something to a youth right now that encourages them to go be um, a principal at a school, and then my great grandchild comes and needs a favor from the principal. In this particular situation, the
Yep.
principal remembers something that I said in a podcast and know what to do exactly in that situation, and it blesses my grandchild. You know what I mean? And then my grandchild goes and they
Yeah. So
become
in
something because of that situation, and they go and
yeah.
bless
So in
that
that you're
person's great
so in that
grandchild.
you're
You
saying
see
that
what I'm
your
saying?
purpose could
And
eventually
now the
one
world
day
is better,
exceed
all
your
because we started a
lifespan, basically, right?
podcast. You feel me? Always. Yeah. Yeah. Always. But, like,
Mm-hmm.
to this day, like, I think that's ultimately the goal. Like, to this day, Christ's name still reigns. You know what I mean? He's still
Yeah.
king. And then you think about the other people who walked that thing out that way, like, the Martin Luther Kings of the world. You know what I'm saying? Um, after you're gone, the impact is still, the ripple effect is still felt, throughout the
Exactly.
earth. Yeah, so it's all it. If it was about you, it would stop with you. You know what I mean? But it's always about changing
Yeah. That was fire. You be knocking it
for
out
all
the park,
eternity.
man.
You know what I mean? All eternity. Yeah,
That's what we need, man.
I don't know, man. That's,
That's
I
the
pray that God
That's the
speaks to
overall
me. You
goal,
know what I
man, of
mean?
this podcast,
Um,
dude. Just to open somebody's eyes and
yeah,
heart, bro.
yeah.
That's
I
really the
appreciate it.
overall thing. So, so this is being borrowed
Yeah,
time
that's what's up.
on the More
That's
Than
what's up.
podcast with your great host DJ and Cornell. We'll be back with another episode soon. Peace.